Welcome back to the Balanced Vibes podcast and also YouTube channel if this is where you are watching this video on. My name is Kirsten and I am really excited that you are here today listening to my thoughts on exercise and post-recovery exercise. And more specifically, today we're going to talk about how to choose the right workout program for you, how to choose the right trainer for you if you are considering working with a trainer, and also how to deal with a little bit of pressure that you may get from your friends or from your workout buddies who want you to go and exercise with them again, and you know at the same time that it's still too early for you. Before we get started with all that, I want to tell you that next Tuesday, I will be sharing something exciting with you, something that I have been working on in the past couple of months. And something that I've never done before is going to be really useful and helpful for those of you who are in the balanced phase and not only in the very early stages, but already, third, fourth, fifth, sixth month after you have recovered and you are ready to start a little bit more structured exercise. It's not going to be just the workout plan. It's going to be much, way more than that. There's going to be a really nice community aspect because I know that a lot of us feel so alone in this. So it's going to be a fun group of people and there's going to be tons of education, and I can't give you all the details yet, but I will do so next Tuesday. And you will be the first one to hear about it if you are on my emailing list. If you are not there yet, please make sure that you sign up. So I'm going to put a link in my description, and this link will take you to my resources page, and you can choose whatever resource that you want, that you need. And as soon as you sign up for that, you will automatically be added to my emailing list. So make sure to do that if you want to be the first one to hear this news that I am going to share with you next Tuesday. And it's especially for those of you who are recovered, like I said, who are ready to take their exercise to the next level, who are ready to work on their relationship with food, who are ready to understand how your hormones actually work and how to keep them balanced. So I have something super fun coming up for you. So make sure that you sign up for the emails. But moving on to today's topic, and that is exercising after you have recovered. I know that I have talked about it quite a bit already, but I want to more specifically talk to those of you who are interested in maybe starting a new workout program or starting to work with a personal trainer, what to kind of know about it, what to be aware of. But the first thing, let's talk a little bit about the peer pressure or the little bit of pressure that you may get from your friends or your workout buddies that you used to work out with before. And what often happens is that people start asking you, hey, you're ready now, right? You're healthy now, you can start working out again. Maybe you belong to like a running club or like a CrossFit box where the community is huge, it's so important. And now these people who you used to work out with, they start asking you, okay, can we do like a 10 miler on a Sunday? Or, let's do a couple of Metcons here and there. It's not gonna hurt to do it 3-4 times a week. Just come back and let's do it and let's have fun together. And I know how tempting it can be, because if you have this fun community who you used to do stuff together with, it's really hard to say no. And you don't maybe have to even say always no, but you have to be able to understand what is too much for you and what you can do and what you cannot do. So let's now say that you are in this running club, or you have like a couple of friends who just can't wait for you to get back to running and, run with them again. And they really ask you, okay, let's go ahead and do like this 10-mile long run like we used to, like 6 months ago or a year ago. You just have to realize that it may not be appropriate for you. So what you want to do is you want to build your stamina and your endurance up for that and make sure that your cycle stays healthy throughout this time. So if you have not run much yet, then please don't jump right into doing that 10 miles on a Sunday. What you want to do instead, if you're a runner, if you want to run, then do like a mile at a time, and then try a couple of times a week, and maybe then do like 2 miles and do that a couple of times a week, and gradually build it up. So please don't jump right into the hardest workout, the longest workout, or something that you used to do in the past, because it's not going to feel the same. Your body's going to get more tired, you're going to get more fatigued, and your hormones may not respond the way you want them to respond. So be really careful with that, and don't skip the small steps in between. So you can't go from 0 to 100 in just, in a matter of a couple of weeks. The other things maybe where the community aspect is big. Like I said, it's like CrossFit or like a boot camp, right? So boot camps also are really, really intense. So now if your friends are like, hey, come back, I know you can do it again, let's do it, let's have fun. Again, it's super, super tempting to go and do it. But honestly, like CrossFit and Metcons and boot camps, they are not the right things for you right now. Again, I really recommend that you take your time and gradually build your strength up again, get used to movement again. So maybe your recovery happened so that you didn't do any exercise. Then please don't jump right into the hardest thing you can imagine. I've experienced this myself. I hurt my back and I hurt my knees. Luckily, my knee injury went away pretty quickly, but I didn't want to get hurt anymore. Or also when I started pushing myself with, kind of like Metcon type of exercise, I got so exhausted that I needed 2 weeks to recover. And I just want you to be really, really aware of these things and understand that when your friends ask you this, it's actually your responsibility to say that, okay, I'm probably not ready for it. It's been only like 3 or 4 months after I fully recovered. And you can start adding these things in gradually and slowly, but not without skipping steps, not with like just going from 0 to 100. So make sure that you strengthen your body at first, start with some body weight training or start with some light training, build up some consistency, right? Do the workouts in a way that you can keep doing them like 2-3 times a week, have some rest days in between, build your strength and stamina up again, and then you can maybe one day go and do more intense stuff. But until you're not there, please don't say like yes to these invitations like, go and run super long or do very intense workouts, even though you may be very tempted to do these things. So this was my first tip. The second thing is, if you are thinking about working with a personal trainer, how do you know that this person is right for you? And what I recommend is that you find somebody who has experience with these types of people, who know what a metabolic burnout is, who know about hypothalamic amenorrhea, because a lot of trainers don't know. When I went through hypothalamic amenorrhea, I worked at a gym. We had, maybe 5, 6, 7 trainers there, and nobody knew about it. And it was honestly kind of like uncomfortable at first when my boss was like, hey, what is this thing that you're talking about on social media? And I explained it to him, and there we were, like me and my boss, who's a man, talking about periods and missing periods and what happens and how it works. And he had a lot of experience with personal training and group training, but he had not heard about it. And so many people, especially men, have never heard about it. So make sure that the trainer that you are signing up with, that they know what it is and that they have trained somebody who has been through the same thing. And here is why. So first of all, if they don't know what it is, they may just prescribe you a really hard workout plan that does not work for you. Maybe they ask you to do 5 workouts a week and heavy lifting plus some cardio, because if they're like, oh, you want to lose a little bit of weight, which a lot of people do, then they're just gonna a lot of times give you the really, really hard workout plan that does not work for you. And honestly, a lot of times people just don't take into account that you haven't worked out in a long time. So often, again, that 0 to 100 applies here too. So you don't want to do that. The second thing is that a lot of times trainers add HIIT workouts to your routine. And HIIT workouts should really be something that you are very, very careful with. I don't recommend it, especially in the first couple of months after recovery. Later, they might be fine if you want to do them, but they should not be frequent. And honestly, even for a very, very healthy person, I don't think that they should be doing like more than 3 high intensity workouts a week. They're really, really taxing on the body, especially if they are high impact high intensity workouts. So there's a lot of like jumping and jump lunges and stuff like that. Then it taxes your central nervous system even more, and it's even harder to recover. So trainers often use high intensity workouts or like add them at the end of the workout to make them a little bit more intense to kind of accelerate the fat loss, but this may not be the right thing for you right now. The third reason why you want to make sure that the trainer that you're signing up with has worked with somebody like you in the past is that trainers' job is to push you, right? And a lot of times they're like, go faster, go harder. If you go to a bootcamp class, this is what you hear a lot. And honestly, as a bootcamp trainer, this is what I say often too, give it your best, give it a little bit more. But I also say that Always listen to your body at the same time. So now if your trainer doesn't know any of this, they just push you. They're like, you gotta do it, you gotta do it, do more and more and more. And it's not that these trainers are bad people or they want to mess you up. Absolutely not. This is never anyone's intention. I don't think so. But they just don't know better. And lastly, one more thing, we have this like a mantra or this idea that no pain, no gain, or no excuses. There's no excuse. Stop making excuses. And again, this is something that some people could benefit from. There are a lot of people who are physically very inactive. They have really, really hard time getting up and doing the work or getting to the gym or getting themselves motivated, getting themselves consistent. And for those people, yeah, they may really legit come up with excuses. And for them, it might be a good thing to hear. Okay, you got to stop making excuses. If you really want to improve your health and if you really want to get back to a normal weight and out of obesity, and we just have to stop making excuses. But if a trainer like tells you that, then I know that you are a very type A person. Probably you want to do everything the way you've been told to. You are also a rule follower, so you want to do these things. And when you hear that, go faster, go harder, do more, no excuses, that's exactly what you're going to do. And instead of following this advice, I want you to be able to say no when it doesn't work for you. Say that, okay, you know what, today it doesn't work for me. And today I actually have a valid reason. This is not an excuse. I actually am tired. I'm actually not recovered from my earlier workout this week. And you have the right to say no. So make sure that your trainer has experience working with somebody like you in the past, and that they know what you need, how your body is responding, and that you may need some extra days off, that you may need some lighter sessions, and that you should not be pushed hard all the time. And last thing, let's talk about what to look out for or what to be aware of if you decide to choose to do a DIY program. So DIY is do-it-yourself program. There's so many on the internet that you can just buy. They're relatively cheap. They're usually around $50, maybe even less. Some might be even more. And so DIY programs just come. It's just a program, right? So you get like a number of sets and reps, but there's no coaching. And this is how they're designed to be. They're designed for like a large group of people who just get all the same workout, and this is what they do. But there's no coaching, so there's nobody asking your feedback. There's nobody asking what your heart rate was. There's nobody asking about your soreness. There's nobody coaching you through that. And it's supposed to be that way. This is why these are kind of like very affordable options. But I really want you to be careful when you sign up for something like that or purchase something like that, because again, as a really type A personality, as the rule follower, as a person who sees not following a plan as being a failure, it is going to be very, very dangerous. And if your plan tells you that, okay, you're going to work out 5 days a week, this is exactly the plan. I know that most of you will follow this plan to a T, because you think, okay, it's set 4 rounds, it's got to be 4 rounds. It's set 12 reps, it's got to be 12 reps. And if you have that plan, you're often unable to ask yourself, okay, but how am I feeling? What am I doing? And how's my body responding? And you have to always be able to ask these questions and answer them really, really honestly if you want to keep your body healthy. So overall, I would say that it's really helpful to, if you choose to buy a plan or follow a plan, that you listen to yourself and get really, really honest with yourself. Also, don't push yourself to do 101% every single workout, because your body needs more rest and recovery time than someone else's body, and somebody who's like super healthy, has never had any of these issues, is sleeping like a baby, is eating normally, has not restricted their calories extremely. So these people are different from you, and it's not to say that you can never be one of those people too who is like rock solid and bulletproof and do whatever you need, and you will be strong and be able to handle all this. But a lot of us in the early stages of recovery are still not there. And now if we also don't have this aspect of coaching, if we don't have anybody like checking in with us and asking, how are you doing? How did you recover? Did you impact your sleep? Where is your cycle? Did you ovulate? If nobody asks you these questions, it's so easy to just overlook these things and go back to kind of those old habits and thoughts that you had before, which are like, I just got to work out harder. I just got to do more. I got to get rid of my belly fat. I got to do this and that. And we kind of miss this like really smart and like logic approach and this healthy approach to exercise that we should have. And also I want to mention that you will probably be surprised that how much less you actually have to do compared to the previous exercise routine that you did when you were still sick and had all these issues with your metabolism and your periods. I know that you used to do a ton, like so much. I've been there myself. I've coached so many women who've had the same problem. They just feel like they can't get off this roller coaster. It's like they always have to be running. They always have to be doing the next class. They always have to be in the boot camp. They always have to be doing one more HIIT session this week. And it was just so much. But now you got to realize that it was excessive. You do not need to do all this circus all the time. You really don't. And it's very, very simple, actually. Once you get your hormones balanced, once you start sleeping really well, and you get your food under control. When I'm saying under control, I don't mean like necessarily strict controlling manner, but so that you just eat enough and stop when you're full and keep your body fueled. If you do all these things, that all you really need is to do 3-4 strength workouts a week, and you start to see changes. 4 workouts a week is excellent. If you can do that, if your body can handle that, do that with some weights. Keep them under 1 hour, 1 hour max, and then you rest a ton. And then on rest days, you walk. Your training should look like some strength training and then walking and resting and recovering. And this is really all you need. Eat some whole foods, and you're going to feel really, really amazing. You don't have to burn calories every single minute. You don't have to sign up for another bootcamp class. You don't have to do anything excessive. And the other thing that really happens when you start getting used to this new way of moving your body is that you're going to have way less of anxiety. You're going to have way less of these thoughts that you have to be moving around all the time, because otherwise you don't burn calories. Strength training is really wonderful for your metabolism because you will gain muscle, and when you gain muscle, your body burns more calories already automatically. You can eat way more freely than you ever did before, and all it really takes is about 4 workouts a week, maybe about an hour, and you don't have to do the crazy stuff. You don't have to do the intense stuff if you don't want to, and if your body does not feel great when you do that. So I just want you to understand that it can be so much simpler. So this is it from me today. Please make sure that you sign up for my emails if you want to be the first one to hear about the big news that I have coming on Tuesday. I cannot wait for you to see what it is and maybe even become part of it. So I'd be really, really happy to see that. So please sign up for my emails. Please also subscribe to this YouTube channel. And if you are listening to this podcast on your podcast app, then I would really, really appreciate a great 5-star review. Thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye-bye.